Salam, Brush here for you guys. Let's hit it. All right. I was hoping if we did this, Shula would join us, but I was wrong.
That's better.
Yeah, all Shula's question she didn't join us. Oh wow.
This should be the path to Witchdrop. Hungry, Torgal? Here's our welcoming party. Nice try. over. Looks like that's the last of them. Now, where's the grave? This must be it.
My lord, thank you for making the path safe again.
Easy. Was that her name?
Yes. Hardly the most fitting tribute for a dominant, is it? A rough-hewn stone with naught but a given name engraved on it. But my ancestors had only been here a matter of weeks when she passed. Every day was a struggle to survive. They had neither the time nor the energy to devote to a more elaborate memorial. Yet they spared what they could to grant her wish, that even in death she might continue to watch over her home.
She lived down there then? In the ruins?
That's right. They were once the living quarters for those who served up in the temple. When the Northern Thanes sent her here to weave her spell, this was where she and her retinue stayed. There were priests, handmaidens, and a knight sworn to shield her from harm. Of course, they were all gone by the time my ancestors arrived, fled or dead in the Western Wars.
All except Isay, who remained till the end. Alone.
Indeed. At least, that is the story as it's been handed down in Haven. But there is an epilogue to the tale. One known only to Lady Shula and myself. Some years after Isay's passing, you see, my grandmother came here to tend the grave, and found a stranger kneeling before it. A knight, dressed head to toe in plate. She asked of him who he was and whence he had come, but received no answer. The only words he spoke were, "Tell me true, whose grave is this?" So she told him of how her people had met and cared for Isay, and how she had died. His only reaction was to stare up at the air of hours in silence. Then he left, never to be seen again.
You said he was wearing plate. Was it black and gold?
Do you know something of him?
When we went up to the Air of Hours to unravel the spell, we were set upon by a shade in the shape of a knight in full plate. It manifested in front of the Vare, and in its ether, I felt Shiva, the witch.
You think this may have been the same man my great-grandmother met? Isay's knight?
I don't know. Maybe. All I can say for sure is it was intent on protecting her creation.
Or perhaps her spirit? What remained of her ether, preserved in the Vare? Perhaps his spirit too became enraveled in her spell, frozen in an eternal vigil.
Till we ended it.
If the shade you fought was Isay's knight, then ending it was the greatest gift you could have given him. Now he can return to the sea, to be with his lady once more. And if his spirit should ever return here to visit her grave, I shall ask his name, that I might carve it in the stone next to hers.
that they might be together, once and for all.
Thank you, my lord, for reuniting them. We're offering a prayer to our ancestors, that they might continue to watch over warriors and our people from the heavens above. I shall ask them to watch over you and your friends too, wheresoever the tides should take you.
Just look at the state of these plants.
Ah! Just the man I've been wanting to speak to.
Hervé, I see you're still here.
And here I am to stay. I've been accepted as part of the family and get to spend the rest of my life with the woman I love. Oh, I could shout it from the mountaintops!
But you won't, because you know our secret must be kept on pain of death, don't you? Forgive us. This is all still rather new.
But it's decided. He's allowed to stay.
He is. On the condition that he agrees to abide by our laws and work for the good of us all, never leaving this place save with the tributary's permission.
As if I'd ever want to. I'd sooner die than be parted from my little canary again.
Well, be sure to think about that next time you feel like shouting from the mountaintops.
But my little canary, all I ever think about is you.
I'm sure the two of you will be very happy.
And should that ever change, I can always beg the tributary to reverse her judgment. But thank you for everything. Hervé's enthusiasm was one of the things that first attracted me to him. I only hope we can turn it to more productive ends.
Don't worry. Even if I do unwittingly break the rules, at least I'll die happy.
It's nice to have a happy ending. Fuck you, Mom. Fuck you. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's so little.
Oh, this is a little sweetheart.
Reckon my steel's just as good as any.
I gotta go to Cairo's Gate to get this shit. Fucking bullshit.
It was a good thing you did for Talor. Thank you.
My lord, I will continue to support Lady Shula.
However I can. Now that she has Walias to care for, I expect I shall be even busier than before. It has been generations since we since last you raised Dominant of Leviathan, and it's a great responsibility for anyone to bear. But Lady Shula will not have to bear alone. Supporting her means supporting them both. It also means preparing for our re-entry into the outside world. We have not the crystals to sustain the glamour for many more moons. Inevitably, there will be those who resist the idea. Our history gives us ample reason to fear life beyond the wall, and that was before we had Walias in the Bear.
Change is coming.
Whether we like it or not, there are wars lie ahead through which Lady Shula must try to steer a course.
And steer one she shall.
With me to provide a steadying hand on a tiller if ever she should need it.
Long, long ago.
Our people dwelled in peace in the lands blessed by Drake's Horn, down in southern Ash. But Drake's Horn fell, and our ancestors were forced to leave their homeland in search of pastures new.
So we wandered.
Pulling our worldly goods in battered carts, and sleeping beneath the stars. If the tides carried us to unclaimed soil, we tilled it. If not, we traded our meager possessions with the locals.
But never did we settle in any one place.
We became what we had always considered ourselves to be, a river forever flowing, forever meandering across the land. Yet our river did not flow freely. In Sambrek we found ourselves hunted by the Gregorian clergy who labored to rid their Introte empire of each and every heretic who dared to set foot there.
Their cullings came close to staying our river's course.
But despite their claims of victory, we godless barbarians survived, albeit in fewer numbers. And after many more years of wandering of suffering, we finally found our way here to Mysidia, our new home, our haven.
80 years have come and gone.
Since our people took it into their heads to try and transform that poor child into the heart of a mother crystal, they raided an altar upon Cape Nepto, especially for the purpose. They claimed the site was chosen for its religious significance, the way that promontory divided the sea, representing the break in our history that Mother Crystal would usher in. But if you ask me, its distance from the village and the clear line of sight between it and the air of ours counted just as heavily in its favor.
The plan was simple.
They would feed some men of grisly offering to Walias, which they believed could draw out his latent powers, then freeze him in time using the witch's spell, that he might serve as a constant conduit for ether.
Sadly for them.
The first part worked rather too well. Whatever the nature of that evil concoction, it brought forth Leviathan, who raged and roared as only a discomfited infant can. Every soul in the cape was killed in an instant, and the city would have been lost to the waves entirely, were not for the second part on the mountain. Were not for the second party on the mountain, who wove the witch's spell as fast as their trembling hands would let them. It drove the icon back into Walia's body, where it has remained, channeling ether through the poor child's semi-prime form ever since.
And yet,
their ill-begotten heart never did create a single shard of crystal, for our ancestors' plan was doomed from the first. Whatever they may have told themselves. Damn.
fare you well, my lord.
Oh, he's so little. Oh.
Is this about Walias?
I was still a girl when my parents returned to the sea, carried off by the same illness. And just like that, I became responsible not only for leading our people, but for raising my little brother too.
It wasn't easy.
As I'm sure you can imagine, Fami's always been a handful. Thankfully, I wasn't alone. Delia and her family were there to support me whenever I needed help, as I frequently did. I bet Joshua never gave you that much trouble. Who knows, maybe Famio would have turned out more like your brother if he had better parenting. Shit.
Still.
I've got a chance to redeem myself now, with little Walias. So long as his father doesn't lead him down the same path he went. I want Walias to grow up to be strong and wise and brave, but most of all, happy. Which, to be fair, Fami is, so I didn't get it all wrong.
I mean, say what you want.
About my brother and his cronies. They're foolish and reckless, and any little errand you give them has a habit of turning into a fully fledged escapade. But at least they seem to be enjoying themselves.
Sorry.
I expect that's the last thing you want to hear after everything they put you through. Just know that they don't mean any harm, no matter how much damage they end up causing. You might say I'm biased, and you might be right. Fami, lads, everyone in the village is like family to me, and I fight for them till my dying breath. Not just because we share the same blood, but because we share the same history and the same struggle.
And to me.
That's what family's all about.
With Walias finally free,
We melted water must now turn to our next dilemma.
It's no secret.
The glamour will only last as long as our dwindling stores of crystals do. The moment the cairns fall, the spell will unravel and our home will be revealed to friend and foe alike.
While the Empire may have fallen,
The same old way of thinking remains, that one man is better than another, and that slaughtering his lessers is justified. It was such beliefs that drove us into the wilderness, and people's minds aren't quick to change. There's also the question of the land itself. We've called Mysidia home for 100 summers, but this is the north, and our claim here is only as strong as the glimmer that hides us. Should any of the things who fled south discover that corner of their realm remains untouched by the blight, they will surely move to take it back. Yep.
and then what?
If anything were to befall there, our end would be swift.
Fortunately,
I have the strength of my people to call upon, and the dames too. But should even that prove not to be enough, well, don't be surprised if you find another letter on your desk. Though I will be sure to sign it this time. Good.
in case you're wondering,
I wrung the truth out of Fami about what really happened at the Sagespire, and he mentioned that what you'd said about the heart leaching ether from the land and making the blight spread. Remember how I told you my ancestors had learned a secret of making mother crystals? Well, that was where they found it. It was while they were still wandering north looking for a place to settle down. The tower was never going to be that, of course, boxing on both sides as it was, but serve as a place to spend a night or two and scavenge for supplies.
they found a lot more than that, though.
As you know, the first Dusk Crystals, and then the speaking stones that told them of the Fallen's quest for godhood, and last of all, that flesh, the stuff they thought to feed to Walias to make a mother crystal of their own. Oh shit. That particular plan may have failed spectacularly, but Dusk Crystals, they were our lifeline for generations. We've relied on them to keep us hidden. Now it's only a matter of time before the glamour fades.
But maybe that's for the best.
My ancestors found that tower. It took as much as it gave. We've been living under the shadow of the mistakes they made for too long. It's about time we step back into the light. Yeah.
Good tide, Clive.
Good time. Too bad you couldn't join us, but you do have a baby to take care of. Wonder where Famiel's at. Oh.
So what happens when we run out of Dusk Crystals?
Sure, the trip you tell me.
I used to think we had more than enough crystal. But once we use them,
Say we're using Dusk Crystals. Makes sense. Okay, you wanted that fight.
Faster! Thanks, girl.
I think I might talk a little bit in this because it's not really, Yeah, I think I know what I'm doing. Nobody listens. Shut the fuck up. Ba 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 ba. Come on, guys. No fanfare. At the final stage, I forgot. There's 3 or 4 stages. I completely forgot. Oh, there is a final stage. Shit. Shit, come on, man. Give me a fucking break. Oh, he gave me fucking shitty delusion. The shittiest one you could have gave me. He's got the tsunami. Damn. You know, I play like I make millions of dollars, man. Cool. And I'm never gonna use this shit. Yeah, maybe go buy some shit from Dollar Mill, some music or some shit, and go, you know.
I knew I was right not to give up on Luke. He'll make a wonderful...
Well, look who it is. Rosina was the first. I swear. And he was right. And that's... Long live the cause, eh?
Bearer or no. Who will say?
You're going to join the watch after all.
No pepper, pimento.
The fellow who used to run this stall took to his heels right after the fray.
Anything I can interest you in? Here you are. An excellent choice. Here you are. My thanks. Here you are. My thanks. An excellent choice. Here you are. My thanks. Here you are. Thank you for your custom.
Yeah, I think I own all of this shit now. I think I own all the music.
Brother, journeying through Mysidia.
It was like visiting another world, a world in which the most of water yet enduring and Leviathan the lost is found. Not that everything there was so divorced from our own reality. Why, as the president seemed quite of a piece.
For is it not the fate of every dominant?
To be a servant of the nation in which they are born, or else to slave, no matter their fears, their pain, or their suffering. While this torment differed only in the means and severity, but now it is at an end. He is free to, at last to live.
So it falls to us.
To create a world where every man, woman, and child can do the same, no matter the blessings or the burdens with which they are born.
Shall we then?
If you've got something to ask. Off you go then.
Clive. How may I help you today? Here you are. Thus ends today's lesson.
I will not forget this kindness, my lord. I shall go to Eastport. But as soon as the rebuilding is complete.
A New Hope, Clive. I pin you this note from the Witten Hall beneath the tapestry, whose images for so long haunted my dreams. Outside the air rings with Manda's soothing coos, the clangor of Palat's hammer, and the rumble of his curses, and the whisper of the winds through the Elder's blessing. In short, almost everything is as it was before you came here. There is just one difference: the bundle that lies burbling happily beside me. One tiny difference, yet one that has changed everything. When my ancestors committed their greatest sin, it was not only Waias who was frozen in time. For 80 years, we most Water have been bound by the spell they cast that day, unable to right their wrongs, unable to move forward. But now, likewise, we are released. We can live again on our own terms, where every life is equal and all equally cherished. You brought us this gift, and I have every belief that you will bring it to the world. Believe in yourself, and we believe in you, Shula. Cool. Cool.
What's on your mind, Clive?
I've been thinking.
About our time in Mysidia, we were there to save Waias and help redeem the most of Water.
What if Shiva's dominant?
What if her legacy, her
She
redemption,
sacrificed everything.
to conjure a spell that might provide her people a better future? I thought she would have wanted to see those magics used to rob an innocent child of that very thing. When we calmed the bear that day, we righted two wrongs.
And in so doing,
Restored not only the life of one dominant, but the legacy of another.
right. What is it, Clive? I've been thinking, but what if she sacrificed? And in so doing,
I'm always with you, Clive.
Haven signboard, the emblem of Haven, hidden village of the modes of water. The pattern of intersecting lines represents both the scales of the great serpent Leviathan and the ripples upon the surface of the ceaseless realm. The circle of life that has neither beginning nor end, and that Waias is released, the two flow together again at long last. The first ring talisman, oft called pennons on account of their flag-like nature. These quaint hand-woven charms are believed to represent one's journey down the river of life from first ring to their ultimate return to the sea. This particular example was crafted by Jill in preparation for Walia's rite of immersion and references her heartfelt wish that the infant's journey be as long as it is calm. Great!
I'll hold the fort. Don't you worry.
That's a good song. Got all the songs. How come we don't get a trophy for this shit?
What do I owe the honor?
Your ass.
So, will it be? No scratches, right? Should last you a good while. That it? Fine.
Fuck off, dude. There are no scratches. Like, fuck you, man. It's my sword. I can do what the fuck I want with it. I might quit the Thornberry knife. Nani?
What is this?
Muthos. You plumbed the very abyss, yet still you hunger. We are impressed.
Is that so? Not again.
Is ours, and now it is yours. Consider it a gift from us to you, a taste of things to come.
You still think I'm going to be your vessel? I'll take your gift then, Ultima. Just don't expect it back.
Holy shit. Ultimate power. Clive can grant a portion of Ultimate's essence. A tuning of Ultimate not only neutralizes the elemental aspect of Clive's magic spells, but allows access to several new divine abilities such as Voice of God, a punchy attack that sends a country beam of light from the heavens to scorch the very earth. Ability details found in abilities tab in the main menu. Ultimate's feat essentially allows Clive to levitate from the ground, transforming his normal square attacks into a sweeping assault capable of striking multiple enemies nearby enemies at once. To also enhance his normal ranged spell into a 5-fold volley of arrows. In addition, pressing square allows Clive rise even further air, like actually easier access to flying enemy school.
You hear me? I will never be yours!
You, who ever rail against our gifts, remain all too eager to avail yourself of them. Perhaps you require more time to reflect.
Charles Gate is now accessible from the highway's Radius Stone. Charles Gate is challenging in-game battle content in which Clive must dwell in various circles of hell to tackle wave after wave of familiar yet ferocious enemies. Alright. I'll use this. So I have Ultima's power. I gotta start upgrading. I want to start using this for Kairos Gate. This endgame. I think they highly imply that they want us to use. Yeah, they're heavily implying they want to use Ultima. No, I didn't want me to be here. Thanks, bud. You know, my parents here. Fuck you. This is bad. So, all right, first one, guys. Once here in 3. Out. Peace with you guys. And